If you're an individual that doesn't want market risk and volatility, this information is for you. We'll engage in conversations with people that are pre-retirees and retirees that seek a couple of things. And they always seek it, which is number one, is they want preservation of capital, meaning they don't want their money to go down if the market goes down. And number two is they want guaranteed household lifetime income. Of course, we'll engage in a conversation with younger individuals that are also adverse to market risk. And in that case, this information applies to them as well. So let's dive into a couple of different options that you might want to consider and include as part of your overall portfolio. Over here, you guys can see that there's three different, call it bucket options. Bucket one is going to be a fixed annuity. Bucket two is going to be a fixed indexed annuity that's seeking growth. And bucket three is an individual or individuals that are seeking guaranteed household income for the rest of their life. So let's dive into bucket one. Bucket one, how this works is the way I consider it is a CD on steroids. So typically a CD you will purchase or invest at a bank. There's no market risk. There's no sub-account fees. And you've just got a guaranteed rate for a period of time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And again, no market risk. In this type of account, on a fixed annuity, it operates the same way. There's no fees on the account. There's no market risk. You've got tax-deferred growth. Unlike a CD, you pay tax on the gain every single year. In this account, you have creditor protection. And as an example right now, if somebody's looking to do a fixed annuity for 3 to 5 years, they're going to earn around 6% per year. And again, it's guaranteed growth every single year at that rate once the rate is locked in. Okay. These are just examples, but the rates do fluctuate from week to week depending. But again, this is a CD, as I call it, on the steroids. Bucket number two is going to be an individual that says, I would like to possibly earn a little bit higher than what the CD, or call it the fixed annuity, is going to provide. So a bucket number two here is going to be what's called a fixed indexed annuity. And what this individual is seeking growth. These types of accounts have no fees, so no underlying sub-account fees. They have absolutely no market risk. They've got tax-deferred growth. They've got creditor protection. And as an example, it will earn up to 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, sometimes even greater than that on an annual basis, depending upon which carrier and which index is selected. So I'm going to just show you an example in real life here of an account that is a fixed indexed annuity that, again, is for a client that is seeking growth. So here's an example of a product where this individual is, in this example, this individual is age 60. And this person says, Dustin, again, I don't want market risk. I don't want volatility. I just want to be able to have my money grow, and I'd like it to grow greater possibly than what a fixed account will provide. So this individual here invests $100,000, and this is going to be an example had they done this back in 2016 and held it through 2025. So you could see here in year one, the S&P 500, which is what this is tracking, performed well, and this person would have earned 8.25%. So they would have earned $8,250 credited to the $100,000, which now their new balance at the end of year one is $108,250. And keep in mind that account could never go down if the market goes down, because again, no market volatility. You'll see in year two, the S&P 500 in this example also performed positively. The client in this example earned 8.25% on top of the 108. So they were credited $8,931 of interest. And now their account balance is $117,000 and change. What you guys will notice here is in year three, there is no interest. And that's because either the market was flat or there was a loss. And the prior year balance of $117,181 was carried forward to year three. And again, no market risk, and there was no sub-account fee that was withheld. So in this example, a client that invested $100,000 and held it for a 10-year period of time would have now had an account balance of $188,549. So this, again, is for somebody that doesn't want fees, doesn't want risk, but wants to perhaps earn if the market performs well. I use this as an example that if somebody wants to gamble and they go to Vegas and they go to Bellagio, and the Bellagio has a craps table or a blackjack table that says you can sit down at our table. We're not going to charge you for drinks, and you're not going to lose the $1,000 that you bet at that craps table or that blackjack table. But if you hit blackjack or you beat the dealer, you're not going to get double your money. You're going to get, call it, capped at an 8.25 or 9% rate. So that's what that account is doing. And then lastly, is that there are accounts where people want to trade a percentage of their, call it, portfolio, where they're seeking income for life. So in the third bucket, you've got a client or clients here typically that are about to retire or have retired, and they're saying, Dustin, for myself and my spouse, we want to have guaranteed household income, and we want it to be guaranteed for the rest of our lives or just one life. So again, the product or the account can actually be guaranteed income under one person's life. So for instance, the husband or the wife, or the household can have joint guaranteed lifetime income while both of them are still alive. If one dies, the other person will receive it. And when the other person dies, if there's a positive account balance, the named beneficiaries will receive the proceeds at that point in time. This account will also grow if the index does well. If it doesn't do well, they will not lose $1. So again, there's no market risk. And the fees typically on these accounts are anywhere from 0 up to around 1% a year, which depends upon which carrier, the age, and all of that stuff. Typically, this account is held for a minimum of 7 years. Most people that do this will actually keep the account here for the rest of their life. And as I mentioned a minute ago, they've got no market risk in that example. So let me give you this example. So over here, if we have a client that is age 63, and that client says, Dustin, at age 73, I want to start taking income and I want to have the highest guaranteed income for the rest of my life. I don't have a pension. I don't work for a company that gives me a pension, but I've been saving into my 401k since I've been working. But I'd love to have and buy, if you can, if you will, a personalized pension plan. So this individual has $500,000. This person is age 63. And they say, Dustin, if I invest this money on the worst case scenario, guaranteed basis, if the market never performs well, what will my income be when I retire and want to take income out at age 73? And what you guys can see here, this client is guaranteed, even with no market growth, $80,625 for the rest of their life. Okay. When they die, if there's a positive account balance left over, that goes to the family. And if they died before they start taking income, you can see over here, this is what the guaranteed death benefit is. This is showing no growth. Now, if we look at what has it actually done over the last, call it 10 years, let's go to that strategy or that example. This is going to illustrate the most recent 10 years. So this client here invested the $500,000 from their 401k, IRA, or just cash that they have in an account. And they say, I want it to be based on a S&P 500. So you can see here that the client invests the $500,000. And over here, this is what their account balance is based on what the index did or didn't do as far as performance. And this is year over year, the interest that was credited to the account. This is the actual death benefit that if they died at any point in time, this is what the family would receive. And then at age 73, this individual starts taking $80,625 per year, guaranteed for the rest of their life. They could take that out on a monthly basis, or they could take it quarterly, semi-annual, or annual. Most people will take it on a monthly basis. So a lot of times people will say, well, Dustin, why would I do that if I could just invest my money in the market and over 10 years, I should probably do better? And it's possible. They can certainly do that and then invest into this type of account. But let me actually give you the opposite side of it, meaning if a person is age 60 and they have $500,000 invested in a 401k or in an IRA, so they're not paying tax on that money every year since it's growing. They're not taking income on that. And again, we're going to assume here a 7% rate of return. So if they invested $500,000 in their 401k or IRA, they just let it sit in that account, and over the course of 10 years, it earned 7% net rate of return. The account balance is now worth $983,000 and change. Client will say, Dustin, what amount can I take out of that account and have a high likelihood of not running out of money? Something called Monte Carlo. They're able to take out 4% a year. It's their money. They can take it as much as they want, but they're able to take out 4% a year of whatever that account balance is. So you could see here, they're able to take out just under $40,000 a year and have a high likelihood of not running out of money. So you can see the comparison is that even in this account here, if the market never performed well, by this client investing the $500,000, they're guaranteed $80,000 a year for the rest of their life, even when there is not going to be, or let's say assuming zero market performance year over year. A person would have to earn 15% net rate of return over the course of 10 years to have an income stream of over $80,000 where they don't run the risk of money. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was insightful. If you have any questions or want to learn more about what plan is right for you or what to consider, reach out to us today.